There's a renewed public focus on the city's Administration for Children's Services following the death of 4-year-old Marcella Brett Pierce. Brooklyn DA Charles Hines is launching a special investigative grand jury to consider systemic failure at ACS. Helen Zelon writes about the agency in City Limits in a piece called The Process of Protection, and she joins me now to discuss her story. Hi, Helen.
Hi, Don.
How does ACS get involved in an alleged child abuse case?
The first thing that happens is someone calls the state child abuse hotline. You can call as a private citizen and you can identify yourself, or you can be anonymous. And there are also a great number of mandated reporters, people who are legally obliged to report concerns or observations of child abuse or neglect.
What's the process once they start an investigation?
The first thing after the call to the hotline is a determination of whether the case will be investigated formally by ACS. And that happens very quickly. Within 48 hours, people from the agency contact the family, generally by phone and in a visit, and they make a determination about opening a formal investigation. If they do decide to open one, which they often do, there were 66,000 calls to the hotline this year and about 60,000 investigations opened. They have 60 days, 2 months, in which to decide whether the investigation is indicated. In other words, there's reason for concern, or unfounded, in which case the investigation is closed.
How does ACS actually help abused children?
It's a very simple question with a very big and complicated answer. ACS has an overarching goal of keeping children with their families and in the community. It has been integrated with the Department of Juvenile Justice, and it is under the auspices of the Office of Family and Children's Services at the state, really hoping to keep kids in the community and safe at home. In urgent situations or in crisis situations, children may be removed from the home within 24 hours of that first call, or there may be a decision made to place a child in foster care, short-term or long-term. A family can be mandated to receive preventive services or social supports, drug treatment, family therapy, even housekeeping support to help the family strengthen its care of its children.
So given this process, why are there so many mistakes made? Why do kids still get hurt?
Kids get hurt because it's an imperfect process, and because their human nature and the variability of each decision is influenced by indefinable factors that elude regulation. You know, there are many processes in ACS that determine how to evaluate a case and how to make a decision point by point. But still, it comes down to an individual in a field office or in a nonprofit agency, which is the largest private group to which ACS charges the care of the children. ACS doesn't provide the preventive services, the nonprofit agencies do. So every individual in this network has to make a decision that will help a child. We don't hear about the good news. We don't hear about the kids who are helped or the families who are restored. They don't make the headlines.
Helen Zelon. Helen has a piece in City Limits headlined The Process of Protection, and that takes a look at New York City's child welfare system. The story is accompanied by a slideshow that illustrates the process following the filing of a complaint. Thanks, Helen.
Thanks so much, Don.